Welcome back. So this is day 3 of building our business, and now we want to understand our product vision. If you haven't participated in the two first videos, I encourage you to go back and do that. So product vision, right? It's a good or a service that we are fitting into our roadmap, and how are we going to make our plan? How are we going to make our ideals? How do we integrate all of this together? We make a product vision. And what do we need to know? We need to know a couple things. Product vision is going to be perfecting your service and something else by your method, right? Again, remember when we started to write those statements, we want to make sure that we're clearly articulating what it is that we're doing, how we're doing it. And then we're going to come down here and start to define our timeframes. So what we're going to do here is in the first quarter of our year, we're going to define our theme and our objective. Now for quarter 2, we're going to do the same component, right? What theme? What are our objectives? How are we integrating that messaging? So that's how we're going to set our time frames up. And I would encourage you to follow this sort of format where quarter 1, quarter 2, 2023, future, right? And then what we want to do is offer some stories. And this is where, if you listened really well to your customer statements yesterday and asking good questions, you want to be able to clearly articulate what their pain point is. Again, you see here, none of these have technological solutions. They solve a problem at a fundamental level, which is imperative, right? That's the imperative part of what we're doing here. It's how do we solve this at a very fundamental level. So this is a great start of how we're going to write our product vision, define the time frame, and when we develop these user stories by asking good questions, we're really going to be able to generate something that lands, right? We're going to be able to generate something that resonates with our customers, that is going to help engage them early on. Because if you have something that is highly technical and people don't understand how it works, you're going to have a difficult time purchasing it, and you're going to and selling it, right? It's going to extend your sales cycle. So develop good user stories by asking good questions. Take those statements and put them into this format. So what you've got is your theme, your objective, your stories. You clearly understand what you're doing with your product vision. And now we're going to talk about our journey, right? So we have consumption jobs, and I think important that we come out and we take into consumption jobs in just a moment, right? Any software product or service is going to go through a consumption job where there's acquisition and purchasing, receiving, installation, setting up. There's that learn to use, interfacing with, storage, moving, maintain, repair, upgrade, replace, and dispose. This is your software development lifecycle, your product development lifecycle. These are your core consumption jobs that your customers are and clients are going to be asking of you, and they're also jobs that your organization has to consider about who they deal with and how they do it, right? What job performer is assigned to these delivering these consumption jobs? What jobs are they responsible for? What is the process around it? What are the needs and what are the circumstances? So what we've got here is to come back to our journey, right? Somebody is going to hire you for that job, and then it moves to the next ring. Basically, we've got a couple of rings. That job leads to your next flow, right? They're going to discover, how do you stand out from the crowd? That good user story set up in the themes that we just talked about is going to be your discovery method. How does your customer learn about your environment? They learn here. How do they decide about your environment? Well, they're going to make a decision based on your brand, based on your interaction, based on how they understand you, and then they're going to make a plan. Your product or service may be in their plan and it may not. So you really have to understand, what is their discovery life cycle? What platform are they on? Where are they coming from? Where is your customer base? After that, they're going to uh, decide to purchase, right? And that purchase is going to lead to them setting up. Now we have those consumption jobs we talked about, right? Now we're in the setup phase. Then that customer has to learn how to use and modify it for their environment. So what we see here is there's several steps just from the job that they're going to do. Your customer will discover, learn, plan, and decide. They'll purchase, set up, use, and modify. And that's going to lead us to this outside, right? we want to drive them for an upgrade at some point. We want to move to the next service, have them move to the next tier. So if you're offering a service, if you're offering a product or a good, right, upgrade to that next thing, whatever that offering is, then we want them to renew, right? We want them to come over here, buy again, purchase again, whatever that is. And we also need to account that our customers are going to leave, right? Missing this part in your business model is going to be detrimental, right? We want to understand where customers leave, why they leave, what their experience was, and then hopefully give them a chance to come back, right? Offer a better service, offer a refund, a discount, an upgrade, right? You want to understand in this product development life cycle about how to bring your customer base back, how to bring them to return, and how to, continue them on your journey. So what we worked on today was defining our product vision, understanding our journey, and additionally, we can talk about some forces of change. I think this will be really good. So in the middle, right, when we want our customer, if we are delivering a service, right, what is the forces of change that they're going to experience, and what acts on them to make a decision? Now we've got a couple things, right? We've got new solutions that are going to attract them towards a different way of working. But this is a customer who needs to be ready to make that change and has control of their environment and can do such. If you're doing a B2B SaaS, you might have a lot more shareholders and stakeholders that are going to make this process longer. Then we can also have problems that push people away from an old solution. What does that mean? You've got a solution that you're using, and then the experience is no longer good, right? That's something that we have to consider about. We have to make sure that when we see an opportunity, when we hear frustrations, right? On those good interview questions, when we start to hear frustrations, that's an excellent time to start offering the formation of the idea about how you'll solve that pain point. Old solutions that don't work are pain points. They're great for you. And then we also have to have habits, right? There's going to be the force of habit that will make that customer do their existing way, right? The way that you say, oh, well, we could do it better. You're going to have habits. You're going to have people who are habitual, and it takes time to change habits. Additionally, sometimes people are anxious about adopting a new solution. It's too complicated. It's new. I don't particularly want to know something. So understand that in your discovery questions about how does your customer feel? What forces do you have to encounter? And what's that going to be like on your sales cycle and your product development cycle along with your themes, right? Your themes can start to account for that. So how do we develop a good story, right? We have starting. We're going to plan, prepare, orient, collaborate, and decide. Now, how are we going to do that? We're going to plan. We're going to take that customer interview. Again, if you didn't watch the customer interview video, go watch that video now so you can have the concepts and the utilities that you need, right, to write your plan. And when you've asked your good customer questions, you're going to be able to start to prepare that onboarding brief, that customer solution, or if you're developing a product, you're going to be able to shape your product development to more quickly align with this. Then we want to make sure that we're correctly oriented on the map, on our trajectory, on what we're doing, right? Where are we in the customer lifecycle? What is the customer expecting? What pain points are we solving? And what's the solution? And then we're going to have those meetings, right? And this is more specifically towards a SaaS, right? A service, software as a service. We're going to collaborate with our shareholders, our stakeholders, our users, our technical teams, so that they can come together and make a decision. Now, this is really important that we've asked good questions, that we listened to their problems, and we didn't oversell, right? We delivered the product that reduces the pain point that that customer is experiencing. And that's going to transition us from the middle to the closing part of our sales, right? Where we're going to have consolidation. We're going to share our results and our experiences from our good notes. And then we're going to have our conclusion, product delivery, service delivery, and the finishing of onboarding, or the starting of a new series of components, services, and processes for this business. So this morning we've gone over quite a bit. we've gone over a series of components that are going to help us with defining our directions of change, building a product vision, understanding our customer journey, and then tomorrow what we're going to do is we're going to talk about data. We're going to talk about this real quick, right? Data is going to be collected in your process from purpose inputs and evaluation and you also have data collection, data development, and data labeling. Now, you see that these are above each other. This is going to be really important for tomorrow as we start to build our data systems and we start to collect these items and put them into the platform that we're using. For this demonstration, we're going to be using Monday.com, and we're going to show how data develops predictions and outputs and helps you manage a couple things in your business. With the right data management, you can avoid poor resource allocation, avoid subpar service, and you can understand some hazards, risks, and brand reputation. So that's how you can use data to make a better business. And again, under 15 minutes. I hope you found this useful. I'll be back tomorrow.